Welcome to the Business Spotlight series. I am Everardo Resendiz, known around here as Coach Ever. I am a um, certified executive and business coach with Action Coach in Northwest Louisiana. Today I have Angelica Rivera. She is the owner CEO of Colmex Construction as my guest. Today we're going to be talking about her business, the journey to business ownership, challenges, best practices, and share a peek into what it really is like to build and operate a business. If this is your first time on the channel, please be sure to subscribe and like so you can get notifications when we drop new conversations just like this one. And so, Angelica, welcome and thank you for being here today.
Thank you, Verardena. Thank you for the invitation.
Will you share with us a brief overview of your background and tell us a little bit about the business?
Okay, so Colmex, as I mentioned to you, we started 17 years ago here in Louisiana. My background is actually I was a mortgage broker in Florida, and my husband he's been doing construction for many years, and we decided to come here after Katrina and after the crisis of 2007. So for the mortgage industry. And we came with two of my husband's workers. They're from Mexico. We're from Colombia, and that's how we name it Colmex, Colombia, Mexico.
Very good. And so, to set the stage for the viewers and listeners, how does the current ownership of the business look like? I mean, is it a sole founder owner? Are there any investors? Are there any partners?
Actually, it is my husband and me. We're the only owners. I have 60% of ownership, and he has 40% of ownership. I'm currently the CEO and president of the company, and he is the construction specialist. Um, he's actually the problem solver. He's always out there solving issues since I mean, he's really, he has a lot of knowledge in the construction, so that works a lot. So
So, for people who are not familiar with construction in Louisiana, um, what would you say is the trademark of construction business here in Louisiana? Is it any different from anywhere else in the country?
well, the big difference here is that after Katrina, when we got here, there was a lot of companies that were not like the Sunnis company that just came and got people's money and left. So it was really hard for people to trust. And actually that was why we decided to do new construction, and because initially it was only framing, and we worked for a couple of general contractors that were hired to build a complete house, and they pay us to do the framing and left. So when we finish the framing, people contact us and they're like, okay, who's next? When are they going to finish? We're like, we don't know. I mean, we just have a contract for the framing. And then I realized that that was something that was happening a lot. So we sit down with my husband and we're like, you know what? Let's do it from the ground up. Turn kids. So that's why we start getting all our license and decided to I mean to do it that way. Now, there is a lot of I love Louisiana. I had the opportunity to have my own business. It was a different industry, but I love Louisiana because there is a lot of I would say support for small business. There is a lot of organizations that support small business with education, financial, and I thought that was that for someone that wants to do a good company with a good foundation and is key. And again, continuous education is the key. Anything.
Very
So
good.
that's why um that was really helpful, and we took advantage of a lot of organizations that help us. So
Excellent. So there's plenty of support in Louisiana. I have heard that too. So, tell us a little bit about the role that you currently play in the business as the CEO. What do you get to do?
well, I feel blessed to have the best team ever. I have a great team. Initially, it was really hard. There was only my husband and me, and I was working like a lot of hours, and although I did have my business in Florida, it is hard to trust people, and you think that if you don't do it yourself, it's not going to get done correctly. Or and that was at the beginning, that was kind of my thought, and it was really hard. And actually, I went through this great class, which is a 10,000 small business program with the Goldman Sachs. I love that, and it helped me to realize that how to trust, how to put the right people in the right seat. And I think that as of today, one of my biggest responsibilities is to make sure that my team members are happy in order to make for them to work with our customers. So I want to make sure that they feel comfortable, that they have what they need, the tools, and so when you get to that point, I remember that I always wanted to have vacations with my husband, but it was impossible because the couple of times that we went out, the company would had to close because it was only the two of us. And the first time that I took a long vacation and everything was moving, I mean, like when we got back, it was like, oh my God, everything was running so smooth. And we actually went to Europe for a month and we were
Nice.
totally connected. And when I got back and I see the great team that we have, it was really rewarding, I think. And that happens about 6 7 years ago. And since then, I think when you give them responsibilities and you trust them, and if they have an issue, you also encourage them to get the solution. It works out pretty good. And I have to rely a lot on them too because I'm a mom. I mean, I have 4 kids. So that's a different hat that you had to wear. So you had to kind of learn how to manage your time and how to create a balance. Because something that I realize is that I mean, I know people that work really hard and when they realize their kids are big and that they didn't spend time with them. And I always was conscious about that and I didn't want that to happen. I mean, I don't want to miss any of my soccer or games with my kids or swimming
Right.
practices. So yeah.
We use the term harmony because I mean, when you're growing a business, there's a lot of sacrifices you have to make. It's not the flexibility that we think we have isn't really there. We have to sacrifice something for it. And so eventually we find that place where harmony is in it. So you may actually bring the kids to work with you to do some things the days that you need to complete things. And, that's not fun for anybody,
And and
right?
and and, and it's funny because when you say that a lot of people kind of want to go in their own because they want to manage their time and they want to be their own bosses and but they don't realize that it is harder than everybody thinks. And again, unless you surround with a great team, it's hard to do it by yourself, which at the beginning everybody has to do it on their own. And
That's
and
right.
I did, and it was really hard. And so now again, finding that team and like I said, everybody here in the office knows more than me, and I love it. Now I know a little bit of everything, so enough to make sure that things get done right. So what I do is I kind of have like an overview, but I don't have any direct responsibilities at this time, which is great because I can leave tomorrow for a month and everything is still running. They're still pursuing projects. I mean, so that's I think that's the dream of any business owners. It's not even money. Um, we could be in a even better position financially. But we decided that there were more important things than that, and create a good foundation, invest on your team, and so it's always a balance, and there is always that room to choose how you want to do things and where you want to go. So as long as there is a plan and you follow that plan, anything that you decide is good. But yeah, when you don't have that plan, it's like you're always working like crazy and you're always doing things without realizing that, yeah, sometimes it's not where you want to go. So
That's right. Okay. Well, let's move on to what makes your business very special. And so, who primarily does your business serve? If I were in the audience, how will I know if I was a good fit for your services?
um Actually, that's a good question. We currently work a lot with the city, with the state, with public work. We don't work that much with homeowners because the structure is different. And so my ideal client would be like the city or schools and renovations. And now we do some work for homeowners that know us since we started, and they keep coming to us, like during Hurricane Ida, I think it was. It
Yes,
was Ida. We did probably over 100 homes. We renovate over 100 homes during that time. Not because we were focused on that. A lot of people knew about Colmex and the work that we do, and I think the key is to um, under promise and over delivery, which is something that people don't do it often. They over promise things, and then at the time they execute, they don't do things well. So I think that's one of the things that across the board, my team knows that uh, what what is expected from them. And another thing is to share with my team what's our values, what our goals are, what our vision is. Like if you ask anybody here, they know our values, they know our vision, they know how much we want to do by the end of the year, they know how much we need to close. So, and I think that's information that is important to share with your team. So we are like in the same page. Sometimes when they work without knowing exactly what they're was expecting from them or what they need to do, it is hard. And I see that's one of the main issues from business owners is kind of uh, and probably, I mean, I'm an open book. Like anybody see our financials, they know where we are, they know what we do, and I'm perfectly fine with that. And that helps a lot. I think that's something that helps a lot to be in the same position because I heard that every company has a culture, and some business owners don't know what it is, and that's when it's really dangerous because either you want it or not, there is a culture in every company.
that's right.
So it's
That's right.
better if yeah, if you create it and you have it the way that you want it. So
That's right. The culture is going to be there whether you choose it or not. And so you better
mhm.
direct it. I wholeheartedly agree with you. Now there's a lot of great information in there, and so let me ask you these. I'm sure you're not the only outfit in New Orleans, Louisiana, that does construction. So what makes you unique? Why do people choose you rather than any other outfit?
Um, again, I think it's customer service and the way we serve the city. And another value thing that we offer is we work a lot for the community. So we are involved in a lot of community activities. And in fact, last year, we create this new division of Colmex called CWCK, which is Colmex Woman Construction Crew. So it's a division that is focused on women in construction. Because, like I mentioned before, there is a lot of support for business owners that want to open their business, but there was a lack of support for women that are actually in the construction that like to paint, that they like to do flooring, and there was no support for them. And in fact, there was a really hostile environment for them to be. So we decided to open this division so we can hire women that wanted to do construction and we do trainings for them and we are really flexible with their schedules, knowing that they have kids, that they have um, a lot of things that in other companies they're like. And when we started that, I have we were going to start with four women, and the first week, I had 35 applications. So it was really sad knowing the need out there.
Right.
And and I did every single one of them. I interviewed them directly, and most of them went through something difficult in the construction, like uh, guys that asked them out, and if they didn't go out, they were fired, or that their kids was sick and they had to leave work and they were fired, or that they were hired for 3 days to do this house and then send them home, and then we call them whenever we need you again. So we wanted to give them that full time secure, I mean, so they can have financial security, and also we give them health insurance. vision insurance, life insurance, so all those things that they did in vacation time and holidays pay. So that was I mean, that's something that we're really proud of. And right now they do all the work that they do is in-house. So because we're prime contractors, so we don't do any subcontracting work for other contractors, other primes. But that's something that we're kind of opening up so we can grow that branch and that division and give more, I mean, more opportunities
More
to women in the
opportunities. That is amazing, Angelica, and truly, truly inspiring. It's not something that most people will choose to take on because it is a social, economical disadvantage. And
It is.
being where you are and being able to offer assistance to those who need it, to help them grow on their own, to help them stand on their 2 feet, that's amazing. And so, what is one thing you wish more people knew about Colmex?
One thing that more people knew about Colmex. That's a good question. Because I never thought about it. Uh, we are, I think, more than just a construction company. We are a family, and we care about our team members and the people that are within the family. And if I had to, I mean, we haven't taken over projects that I know that they're going to be like really stressful projects for our team. I rather not to take them, not to take over that. And it doesn't mean that I want to be in my comfort zone because it's not like that. I mean, we like to be in the comfort zone, but I'm willing to take over other challenges as long as it doesn't. I don't want to preach and say, well, we want family time and balance, and I don't want to take over projects that are going to take that from our teams, from our members. So we're willing to expand, and right now we just got our not just got but a year ago we have a new certifications like the 8A with the SBA, Hobson. So we're looking forward to start working towards that too with the government, which is something that we haven't done yet, but we're ready to do
All
it.
right. That's amazing. And so, this leads me to the question on marketing, because, it's something that is vital for every business out there and often an area that business owners struggle with. This is like you want to put your shingle out there and hope the business comes your way, but it doesn't happen that way, right? And so I'm always curious about what successful businesses are doing. How do you get um, the word out there of what you do, and more so, what kind of budgets, percentages, strategies? How do we determine what's the right approach?
You mean like how, like a dashboard that we have to manage our business?
How do you plan what your marketing budget is going to be like? What
Well,
do you use it
actually,
for?
again, since we focus on public work, most of our budget goes into its estimating to make sure that we put together a good estimate. Because again, most of those projects are the lowest bid, so you want to make sure that you're competitive, but you're not under budget. And we have meetings every week, and we review our work in progress. We have a budget for each project, and I have an account manager that she kind of input the information every Monday. And we have a meeting and we go project by project, like how we're doing here, how much do we spend so far, how much do we have in budget, and we share that with the superintendents so they know where they are. And I think that's key because you know your numbers. And
Right.
I can be in China and I know every Monday I'm going to have access to those numbers and I'm going to be able to review where we are. So marketing, we do marketing in-house. We actually have someone that she does all our social media ads, and we review that once a month. And then any special projects, we work with that. But marketing is not something that, and again, because we don't advertise for for homeowners or private, and we
Right.
mostly is for public work.
It's about choosing the right kind of projects you want to work with the people that are organized, and also you don't have to stress over getting the project done on time or the right budget. Did I get that right?
Mhm.
I love that. Okay, well let me ask you more a little bit about the journey itself, right? You said that you were a mortgage broker, um, and then you moved into doing these, right? So why did you choose to go and do it yourself, right? What was that transition like for you?
You mean in the construction?
Yes.
It was really hard. And let me tell you this, 17 years ago was was really hard, harder than now. Many times I was the only woman in a room full of men because I was the one taking classes and getting the certifications, and I cried many times because it was really, really hard at the beginning. People don't take you serious. They think that you're I mean that you're willing to do things that you're not. And I went through I mean, I can sit down with you and tell you all the things that happened to me, and people that wanted to help if I'm willing to help them. And I mean, it was a really challenged environment at the beginning, and many times I was this close to quick, and but I always had the support of my husband. I mean, we've been together for many years, 32 years actually, and he is amazing. He always support me. He always kind of like I tell this thing that happened to me a lot because the thing was key. There was one guy that approached me in one of the meetings, and he said, Angelica, you should be at home with your kids. You're wasting your time. You're never gonna make it in the construction. This is not for women. I mean, just look around. There is only men are here, and I'm just being honest. And I just want you, uh, you should just go and spend time with your kids because you're not gonna make it here. I
Wow.
mean, just look around. He used to be he had a construction company. He used to do like in theater trim and all that, and he was an American, and he was doing the classes also. So when he told me that, I was in shock. I'm like, and that day I left and I cried and I was like devastated. And my husband was like, "No, I mean, really? You're gonna let that ruin?" Oh, well,
Wow.
moving forward, 7, 8 years later, we were doing a big project for Housing Authority. We were renovating probably 100 homes. It was a big project. So what we did a subcontractors fair, so they can come and apply to work with us, and DBs, contractors, and all that. And when I saw him there applying to work with Colmex, uh, I just really, 'cause 7 years ago, he told me that I was never going to make it. And having him applying to work in our company as a subcontractor was like, wow.
Wow.
That day I felt like, yeah, that was a
Vindicated.
really
You felt vindicated. Excellent. I love that. Well, let's move past forward to what the next few years look like for you. Where do you see Colmex going in the next 3 to 5 years?
again, one of my focus right now is working with the government through the 8A. Uh, well, in that I think that's a door that we have with that certification, and working with the Army Corps and other entities, and also expand to other states. That's through joint ventures and opportunities. I think this is a big opportunity for us to move to the next level. With that, we are really comfortable where we are right now, so I think it's time to step up and go with that. So yeah, that's again, that's our goal. That's what we're working on,
All
and
right. I'm going to ask you this question not because I believe it, okay? But the question is always comes to mind, right? Why keep growing when you're doing well?
and it's funny that you asked me that because I think it's important to grow by having a good foundation. And just like I was mentioning to you before, being having a plan and make sure that you do it. I mean, have a strategy to do it. That's how I wanted to do it. And like I said, I had many opportunities to be 10 times bigger than what we are right now. And we decided to let them pass because we wanted, for me, it's more important to have again a good foundation and make sure that everybody in our team feels like family and feels like we care. I don't want to have employees all over and it's not bad. I mean, a lot of companies decided to do that, and I've seen companies that they grow really fast, and that's good. But in my case, I wanted to do it gradually, and we have a really nice foundation, and I'm really proud of that. And I'm proud to say that I can go and again and have 2 weeks if I want, and having that structure and having that team. And a lot of people probably cannot do that. So yeah, we want to keep growing, but I don't want to do. I want to grow gradually and with conscience of what we're doing.
It's a
And
smart
again,
approach. That's a smart approach. I mean, you're making sure that the ground where you're standing is stable before you take the next leap. That's what most people don't get to do. Sometimes they just take on the next big opportunity, and either their competence or the resources aren't going to be able to sustain that. And so kudos for you. That is excellent. Let me shift a little bit because we've discussed so many things so far. We covered a lot of ground, and for those people who are watching, I highly encourage you to save these and come back a few times for an additional watch. There's a lot of great nuggets here. There are things that are said but not said, and they're part of that whole idea that owning and growing a business is no walk in the park. There's a lot of sacrifice that goes along with it, and there's a lot of decision making that has to take place. So the strength of a leader is what determines where we go next. And so as we begin to wrap up, Angelica, I have a few rapid fire questions. Quick top of head answers for each. Okay? You ready?
okay, ready.
What is the key to success for you?
Uh, I think it's creating a your dream team around you. That's the key.
Outstanding. What is your one piece of advice for other business owners?
Make sure you have a plan and a strategy and know where you want to do. How whatever it is, they need to make sure that they have that plan, that they know where they're going.
And keep that on the forefront for everybody to know where they're going. What is it that they're affecting every day that they do good work? What is one book that you're reading now, or you have read most recently, or one book that you recommend people to get a hold of?
For business owners, there is one book. It's called Traction. And I think that book is amazing. And it also takes you to the EOS program, which is something that changed our dynamic at Colmex.
Very good. If you had to choose only one area of your business you could immediately improve tomorrow, what will that be?
One area of our business,
Like
probably
you could do a magic one, and this is done.
the field. I will be doing more in-house, more work in-house and training to make sure that the things get done faster and with more, I mean, with quality and which is getting done now. But I will say I will grow that field arm of Colmex with the CWCK. No majestic.
There you go. All right. So before we get into the final question of the day, how can others learn more about you or your company? How can they get in touch with you?
Um, they can go to our website. They can call us. In fact, like I said, we're really involved with the community. We're having an event coming up in March for women in construction. We do this like every year. This is actually going to be our third year where I invite all the women that are in the construction industry, and we do like a panel with resources that they have and other successful women in construction panel that motivates them. So it's coming up on March 18th. And again, they can call me at any time here at the office. I'm always looking to to help other companies and share with them what works and what not, because there was a lot of things that don't work that you go through. So
For sure. I'm going to pass this information over to some people I know. And I don't know if the interview will be out live before then, but if you do it every year, they need to be looking forward to it. Okay. And so last question, Angelica, what is most inspiring for you today?
uh what really inspired me, I think, is my family, my kids, and knowing that they're gonna have a legacy. And I'm not just talking about financially, but also an opportunity for them to see that everything we went through a lot of struggles and they have seen that. So I really it really is that inspire me every day to know that at the end they're either if they take over or they go on their own, that they're going to have a good foundation.
I love it. Very good. So thank you so much for joining us today and sharing all this with us. Thank you to the audience for watching and sharing. You never know who you might be inspiring by providing them a link to this interview or having them listen to it. Have a great day. Until next
Thank
time.
you. No, it was a pleasure. Thank you so much for the invitation.